Hi, today I will demonstrate the cross-domain automation use case to onboard Cisco SD Access with Anuta Atom. Let's start with the Atom cross-domain automation introduction. Anuta delivers cross-domain automation for multi-vendor, multi-domain networks. It integrates with OSS BSS via TMF and REST API, delivering a unified experience, consistent policy, and security. Atom has an advanced low-code workflow platform with hundreds of out-of-box workflows and integrations. For devices that are not managed by any controllers, Atom provides complete lifecycle automation from day zero provisioning, config management, service orchestration, active assurance, and closed-loop automation. Atom is based on a microservices architecture with the flexibility to deploy on-prem or on-cloud. Atom supports 250-plus platforms from 60-plus vendors. The Workflow Builder has 350-plus out-of-box libraries that simplify workflow creation. Atom is a multi-tenant software based on Kubernetes with the observability stack. Atom supports SASE automation to ensure unified network and security policies. It has integrations with CI/CD systems such as Git. Now, first, we will discuss the operator challenges they are facing in day-to-day cross-domain operations. Just onboarding a branch router involves 4 teams, each using a different management system for the domain controller. You have the campus operator logging into the DNAC, the WAN operator using Marikey, the security operator managing from Umbrella, and the cloud operator dealing with the AWS console. In addition, manual processes to handle tickets and notifications add to the complexity. Now, we will see how Atom can resolve the challenges and help operators to perform cross-domain automation. Atom automates the complete SD Access branch onboarding process. Its integration ensures that the branch site is delivered on-site. The network operator initiates process automation in Atom, which entails Atom executing sequential steps like opening an ITSM change request ticket on ServiceNow, onboarding, and provisioning of SD Access border node through the DNAC controller, BGP VPN provisioning of SD-WAN edge router from vManage, triggering branch monitoring and sending notifications at regular intervals on WebEx spaces, email, etc. Now, let's begin and explore the use case from the Atom UI. From the Atom main dashboard page, navigate to Automation and select the workflows. Under Workflows, select the pre-built or out-of-the-box campus branch provisioning workflow to onboard the Cisco SD Access branch. Before starting the workflow, we can look at the screens of multiple controllers involved. Here in ServiceNow, Atom will open the change request. In the WebEx spaces, Atom will send the notification. Then, in the DNAC controller, Atom will perform the onboarding and provisioning of the SD Access border node. Atom will also handle the BGP and VPN provisioning of the SD-WAN edge router from vManage. In the AWS cloud, you will see the deployed instance. Atom will also enable the umbrella policy to access the AWS payload or application from the DNAC or SD Access branch office. Similar to this email, you will see the new notification email with all the details. Now, let's look into the workflow for SD Access branch provisioning. Here in the workflow, you can see the process initially looks for user inputs to get the details for the DNAC and vManage controllers, WebEx spaces, etc. After the user inputs, Atom will create the change request in ServiceNow, and once we have the approval, the workflow will proceed further and send the notification to WebEx spaces. Then, in the DNAC, the SD Access border node will be onboarded under a particular site, and DNAC will also provision the SD Access border node. As a next step, Atom's workflow will handle the BGP and VPN provisioning of the SD-WAN edge router from vManage for the external connectivity of the SD Access branch. After branch onboarding, it will deploy the AWS payload using Terraform and enable the umbrella policy to access the AWS payload or application from the SD Access branch office. The workflow is also designed to perform a reachability test for the AWS deployed payload from the SD Access branch. It will update the ServiceNow ticket, email, and WebEx spaces, and in case of failure, Atom can also retry the flow after user approval. Now, let's start the workflow and follow the steps. Click on the Start button to trigger the workflow. You can provide the instance name, such as SD Access 02 Branch Onboarding, Here you can see that the instance triggered successfully. Now, you can toggle the details and select the newly created instance. Here, the workflow is waiting for step 1 for user inputs. You can show the details and go to the actions for the user task. Admins can take the authority to claim the user task and provide the required inputs to proceed with the workflow. This workflow can onboard either the Cisco Meraki branch or the SD Access branch. In this demo, we will focus on the SD Access branch and select SD Access as the branch type. Next, we will select the template for SD Access branch onboarding and provide the different cross-domain controller details in the form of user input. After providing all the user input, save the user input form. Now, you can go to the tasks and copy the workflow instance ID to verify the ServiceNow change request. In ServiceNow, check for the instance ID. You can see that Adam successfully created the change request with the required description. Now, you can go to the request approval, check for approvals involved, and approve the change request. After approval, you can verify that end-to-end segment provisioning has started in the WebEx spaces. Now, in the DNAC controller, navigate to Provision and then Inventory. Here, you can see that the SD Access border node has been onboarded successfully under the San Jose location. After the onboarding, you can also verify the provisioning of the SD Access border node. To verify it, navigate to Provision and then SD Access. Here in the Fabric sites, you can see that one Fabric device has been attached to the San Jose Fabric. Click on the San Jose Fabric to verify the Fabric infrastructure. You can also go to Fabric Host Onboarding and then Virtual Networks. Here, you can see the IP pool involved in the newly deployed SD Access branch provisioning. Now, in vManage, you can verify the provisioning of VPN and BGP on the SD-WAN edge router. As a user input in Adam, we specified the vManage templates to provision the SD-WAN edge router. Select the WAN Edge Interface template. Here, you can see that the interface pointing towards SD Access has been provisioned successfully. Now, you can go back and select the BGP template. Here, you can see that BGP has been enabled between the SD-WAN Edge and SD-WAN border node with the required attributes. In the AWS cloud, Adam also deployed the new payload instance. Under Cisco umbrella, you can see the Adam rule policy has been enabled to access the AWS payload or application from the SD Access branch. Now, you can go to the inbox and verify the SD Access branch deploy details. In WebEx Spaces, you can see the onboarding notification received at regular intervals. And lastly, you can see that SD Access San Jose branch has been provisioned successfully. To summarize this, Adam's value addition in this cross-domain automation use case is that it provides complete end-to-end automation for the SD Access branch onboarding process involving integration with multiple systems, branch network configurations, SD-WAN edge configuration, and pre- and post-check verifications. Also, Adam delivers end-to-end automation for multi-vendor, multi-domain networks. It has significant out-of-box support and the flexibility to deploy on premises or in the cloud. Thank you for watching.